Kingdom ACU crew, welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with a post-game podcast for that ass, Steve. The Chiefs go to 5-0 as they dominate the Saints in Arrowhead. This is powered by BetUS. Let's jump right in and thank our sponsor tonight, guys. I want to give a shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this post-game live stream. Head over to betus.com and check out what they got going on. Use code YouTube150 and get a 150% deposit bonus match on your first deposit, and then on your next two, get a 125% deposit match bonus up to $2,000. Take advantage of all this free plays, get some free money. The site's easy to use, plenty of props. Go to betus.com, promo code YouTube150. Let them know All Chiefed Up sent you. Steve, we hit a few tonight on him, but Xavier Worthy didn't get over his 47 yards, I believe it was. He got ripped off with a couple of a little non-call there, a little non-PI, and then he got hit with a PI. So it is what it is, man. But how you doing?
I'm good, man. You got to be good on a Chiefs win, right, baby?
Got to be good.
5-0 going into the bye week. It's freaking awesome. I thought the team looked a lot better today than they have previously this season. So
yes.
a lot of good stuff, man. A lot of good stuff. You have to feel a lot better about things. Mahomes, although he wasn't like 100% back to Mahomes, he looked a lot more like himself tonight. He was throwing the ball around a little bit. Run game looked good. Defense looked good. I think we had a great night. Yeah,
it looked great. 26-13 is the final. We're going into the bye week at 5-0. Let's be honest. I think we all think we need the bye week. Again, we thought it was a little early in the year. The script writers knew what they were doing, my man. But yeah, Mahomes, to your point, 28 for 39, 331 yards. He didn't have any touchdowns, though. He had a pick. No touchdowns. So Mahomes is he's in an interception funk. I almost said an intersex. I don't know if he needs to be dabbling in that. But Kareem Hunt, 27 carries, 102 yards and a touchdown. And then we see the emergence of Juju Smith-Schuster becoming a target over the middle there in the second half. 7 catches for 130. He had 50-something on one play, but I tell you what, he done his best Kadarius Toney impression there in the end zone when Colin Saunders picked that one off.
Why did it have to be fat Colin Saunders of all people?
Hey, it was a family affair, man. His brother or something is a backup dancer for Taylor Swift. She's there watching. Kelsey's here. It was a big family affair, Steve.
They sound like a great family. But yeah, man, totally awesome game.
Don't be bitter about it.
What? I want to be a backup dancer for Taylor Swift. I'm a little bitter. No, I'm just kidding. But no, like overall, just a great game, man. I thought that the Chiefs looked dominant in the game. Once again, they could have been ahead by a lot more than what they were. They just could not cash in the red zone.
Yes.
Obviously, Butker missed a 51-yarder, which is not a big deal whatsoever. If anybody was worried about that, I mean, this guy hits 90-some% of his.
Yeah. He's missed 2 field goals this year. They've both been from beyond 50. I mean,
not worried about that whatsoever. So, pretty good showing, man. I think the most impressive thing for me tonight was Kareem Hunt, to be honest. Getting 27 carries, going over 100 yards, got the touchdown. It's just like the days of old.
Steve, if you go back and you watch our pregame, I mean, I think we called this game the exact, like down to the nearest everything. Okay. We said Mahomes would get over the stride this week. I think he did pretty well. Kareem Hunt, I said he was going to be player of the game. I think he's probably right up there with it. We thought the defense done well. I said they were going to get a pick. They got the pick. They didn't get the fumble recovery, though. So I missed out on the fumble recovery. No, neither team lost a fumble tonight. So props to Carson Steele hanging onto the ball. Hey, by the way, people were angry over Carson Steele almost fumbling that one on that stupid play call Andy called. And I'm thinking, dude, Alontae Taylor come off the edge untouched. I don't even think Carson Steele seen him. I just think he hit him like before he could even.
Nothing to do with Carson Steele.
I don't think he could even think in that situation. That was a bad one. But I think overall the Chiefs done well tonight. There was a couple bad play calls. When they started getting down through, into the red zone a little bit, there was a little bit. I think Jawan Taylor had the worst night of everybody. Like, when are they going to start docking this guy? They should be putting a daggone penalty. Impose a Trump tariff on this cat, okay? Give him a tariff. Every time he moves too soon, tariff. Let's get back some of that $80 million we give him. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting a little bit annoying, I have to say. Like, I can ignore it a little bit if you're doing your job and you're doing it well. But when you're killing drives like he did with that, the first false start, I think it was, or it might have been the hold. I can't remember.
He got a false start and a hold that pretty much killed 2 drives.
Yeah, man, you just can't have that. It is what it is. You just cannot be doing that. You can't kill drives. But a lot of things happened that we figured, right? Like we talked about last night in the pregame, talked about how the main factor was going to be trying to score in the red zone because the Saints had the best red zone defense in the league, and the Chiefs had been struggling in the red zone. Yeah. So yeah, that seemed to be like the story of the night. It could have been a blowout if we could just punch the ball in, but couldn't do it. And of course, we saw a Jody Fortson sighting. I was talking last night about how I think they were bringing him back because I thought they were, we're short on wide receivers. So what are they going to do? 12, 13, even 14 personnel at times.
Yeah, man. They ran some 14 personnel
and that's
tonight.
Exactly
that's
what they were doing. You saw 2, 3 tight ends on the field at a time, all the time, just about. It was a Kelsey. It was pitch and catch with Kelsey early in the game to get things going. I thought they kind of hit everything the way they should have. I thought the game plan was good. It really come down to that red zone stuff, and whether it was play calling, poor execution, or just the Saints are really that damn good in the red zone on the defense. That was kind of the story of the night.
Yeah, I think the defense just proved they're on another level right now. This defense is getting better and better and better. By the end of the year, this defense is going to be nasty. Like it is. The Chiefs dominated this game front to back. They had 28 first downs. Passing first downs, or my bad, 28 first downs total, 15 passing touchdowns, or first downs, 11 rushing first downs. Do you realize the Saints only got 1 first down on the ground tonight? Kamara was held to 11 carries for 26 yards. It was just a slaughter. When you look at total plays, we ran 80 compared to their 51. That we held time of possession all night long. We had almost 40 minutes of possession to their 20. We were on the field for 2/3 of the game compared to them. Total yards, we had 460. They had 220. We doubled them up on yardage. I mean, and we both had 10 drives apiece. That just shows how dominant our defense was tonight. They only give up a few big plays here and there. I think that one time it looked like, Brian Cook got caught in the spin cycle there versus Rashid Shaheed there on that deep bomb. But, I mean, that happens. That was a good play call, a good recognition by Derek Carr getting him on the safety, and he got Brian Cook's hips turned, and there's nothing he could do about it. So, I mean, props to the Saints there. And I thought Derek Carr didn't play horrible tonight. But the one thing that kind of bothered me all night long was pretty much the lack of pressure. I felt like Derek Carr didn't have tons of pressure on him all night, considering they were just depleted across the entire line.
Yes and no. I think they had decent pressure, but it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Chris Jones, he was kind of quiet early on. Of course, he's getting double, triple teamed. At one point in the game, I think even one of the announcers called it out, but like he literally looked like he was just ready to take the game over. Like
I feel like later in the game it got better. I'll give it that.
Enough's enough, and he started just making it happen. So, I mean, once again, Turk Wharton, I called the sack. I called Turk Wharton getting a sack tonight.
Yeah.
I want to see more from the edge rushers, though.
Yeah, me too.
I've got to see more from these guys.
The Chiefs actually hit the quarterback 9 times tonight. They got accredited for 9 QB hits. So they were there. They just weren't getting there fast enough. But they created enough pressure. Again, Turk Wharton got the only sack of the night. So with 9 QB hits, we still only mustered 1 sack. Like we mustered up 1 sack. I mean, it's got to we got to close in a little bit. I don't feel like
especially
George Karlaftis,
someone like Derek Carr.
Yeah, look, George Karlaftis didn't even have a solo tackle tonight.
Was he playing?
No, Felix blanked across the board. Felix blanked. George Karlaftis pretty much blanked across the board. Mike Dana didn't really do nothing. He had 2 total tackles, and they were all just none solo. So I feel like our defensive line's got to get it together a little bit. They have played some depleted offensive lines the past 2 weeks, and boy, they haven't really put a lot of pressure on. So I feel like if there's one thing going into the bye week, Brent Veach might turn around and say, hey, look, let's go get a pass rusher. No, they might not, because you're going to have a Minihue coming back. But do you think the wide receivers stunk enough tonight to go get do you think they're going to go make a trade?
With Juju putting up 120 yards?
Right. And I thought Worthy looked pretty much okay. I think Mahomes missed him on that one. It was behind him a little bit. He wasn't really looking.
I will say that was something that I saw a lot tonight that's been a theme throughout the season. There were a couple plays where Xavier Worthy was wide open. Mahomes missed him. Didn't even see him.
Yeah, well, look, he took a lot of pressure there early. Look, Wanye give up one. Wanye injures himself. He goes out of the game for 2 or 3 plays. The very first play, Kingsley comes in, allows a QB pressure.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with Kingsley, but he needs to get it together quick.
Well, when you're only on the field for one play, who knows what's going to happen. But Pop's in here with 5 gifted memberships, spreading the love. Appreciate you,
Let's
old
go.
man. Y'all shout out Pops in the chat. Put some legendaries in the chat. Oh, Pops was he was having a time tonight. He was texting during the game, being like, "What the heck are they doing?"
Pops was struggling. Look, there for a little while, it looked like it was going to be like a blowout. Like we looked like we were in complete charge of the game, right? But like we said, it was a field goal. They couldn't complete the drives, and then it was 16-7, and before you know it, it turns around at 16-14, turns into a nail biter, and then luckily Juju broke off that 50-some yard pass and kind of got back there. But I thought it was going to get late in the game and back to a nail biter, and I was like, daggone it.
No,
we
it
just
kinda,
can't
it was
do
kind
it,
of
can
what
we?
I said it would be 27-17. And I remember last night I was like, I think what's going to happen is we're going to score and get up by 10, and it's not going to be the nail biter. It's not going to be like super close like it usually is, but it's still going to be kind of close. So I think that's kind of what happened. Like we were able to relax a little bit more than usual tonight. But shout out TGZ with the 2 bomb, says that Cook interception was amazing, and Hunt had a great game.
Yeah.
Check and check. Yeah, I think Kareem Hunt, man, he looks like the old Kareem Hunt.
Look, hot take, maybe. Is this a hot take? I don't know. I'll just say it. I love Pacheco, but this offense looks different with a Kareem Hunt in the backfield. Even a 29-year-old Kareem Hunt, it looks a little different.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I feel like the rushes are, and I don't think it's against Pacheco, but I feel like Pacheco just plays so fast that he's erratic sometimes, and Kareem's just
I think it's
there,
just
man.
the chemistry.
He's hitting the hole. He's picking
like,
up 5 and 6.
That system with the style of Kareem Hunt just goes together. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just fits
peanut
the
butter and
system
jelly, baby.
so
That's what it's
well,
supposed to be.
Could you imagine if he just wouldn't have lied and could have had a career here, man? Like,
Could have been huge, man. Could have been huge.
it's crazy. But and again, it's not a knock on Pacheco. Love Pop, but dude, this offense just looks just different with Kareem Hunt back there. It really does. It just looks more smooth or something in the run game.
Yeah, for sure. Like Richie saying in the chat, imagine that 1-2 punch. That'd be great with those two. So I guess we might see that eventually. You never know. But thanks for the 2 bomb, TGZ. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. Celebrating this Chiefs dub, going to do the bye week 5-0, baby. Let's go. A lot of people didn't think that was going to happen. Thought we were going to take some L's before the bye week.
No, man, they put us through the gauntlet quick, didn't they? But
did.
coming out of the bye week, you've got the 49ers, and they're kind of struggling a little bit. They're not really playing their best ball, right? But I did hear that McCaffrey's going to try to get back here soon. So
They said something about week 7 for him, maybe.
well, yeah, they'll be pushing it for the Chiefs. That's the one game he's got to get back for. You know how that works. But I feel like we've hit a big chunk of the thick of our schedule. Now, we do have some big games coming up. 49ers, Bucks. These are not pushover teams.
Buffalo.
By any means. And again, we got to play the Raiders twice. Look, they stink. The Raiders flat out stink. But you know against us, they'll play like their life depends on it. So it's never going to be easy. But if you tell me we're going into the bye week 6 at 5-0, dude, I'm taking it. Even with the nail biters and the lacklusterness we've seen so far, I thought this was the best game we've played.
Well, I mean,
and we were the most depleted.
You can't hate it because they've had to find ways to win. They've had to grind games out. Like, that's the character that you want to build throughout the season. So, I mean, even though they suck to watch, those games suck to watch, it's great for the team in the long run because when they face adversity in the playoffs or whatever, they've been there. They know they know how to win.
Yeah, it keeps them cool under pressure a little bit. Like tonight, when it got a little close, nobody panicked. They went out, they executed finally. Right. They executed, and they're executing with. I'm going to be dead serious. Kelsey's not in his prime, okay? He's 35. Juju is busted up, 30 years old with a bad knee.
But he's like 26 or something.
No, I think he's like 29, right?
He's
going out, and Mahomes is still putting up 330 on a defense that's pretty good. And they're executing when they needed to. And Kareem Hunt's 29. He's finding a second wind. And they're just making it work. And they're doing what they can. They're buying their time to some of our playmakers get back from some of our skill players. I think with Hollywood Brown, if Hollywood Brown can get himself back by Thanksgiving, somewhere in that area,
yeah,
boy, that could be a nice little push going into December.
Yeah, for sure. For the record, Juju's 27 years old, so he's a lot younger than he seems like because he's been in the league forever.
Why was I thinking he was 29?
I don't know. He's younger than you think.
Daggone, get your knees together.
Mike Yoways with the 5 bomb says, all horned up. Let's go. Glad to see Juju involved. All the haters can suck it. That's for sure. Hey, Juju, we talked about it last night. I think it was Ray that brought it up. Said, man, this seems like a game Juju's going to have to step up. I think Juju was watching last night. He said, you know what, Ray? I got you. I got you. But no, for real, we were talking about that. Juju is that guy that can find the soft spots in the zones and can create yards after the catch. They can move the chains. He does that type of thing. That's exactly what you saw tonight. Like, exactly what you saw. Like, it was just like Juju was back when he was here 2 years ago. That's exactly how they used him. He had a huge night. If he could have somehow held on to that ball in the end zone, look at the stat line.
But
it's
you
insane.
know what? That's the thing. That's what Juju gives you a little bit, and I think this is why they went back to Juju when they needed somebody. They were preparing for something to happen to Rashee Rice. And it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. It turned out to be an injury, which, by the way, they haven't talked about that. He done his arthroscopic knee surgery today, so we're going to find out something there probably tomorrow at the latest Wednesday. So that's going to be fun to watch
Rice?
Tomorrow. Yeah, the Rashee Rice crap.
They already said it.
Oh, did they say it? Did I miss it?
Yeah, he's out. He's out for the year.
Okay,
Like,
so they did determine it.
It's not an ACL tear. It was like an LCL or something else different that they got to work on.
Okay, see, I missed that one in all the excitement of the game tonight. Okay, so look, they had to go get Juju. I think you feel a little better that Juju stepped up tonight then. I don't think anybody thought he would be back. I think everybody was pretty much just, counting blessings trying to get that to work, but it felt bad. But, yeah, I think going forward, do they go to the trade block? I don't know. I did see them play Mecole Hardman a lot more tonight, and Mecole Hardman actually didn't look super horrible, Steve.
Right. No, well, Well, for some reason, I hate him as a return man. It's like he should be good at it, but it just drives me nuts. But there were some plays they were able to use him and take advantage of his speed a couple times. I just feel like his vision, once the ball's in his hand, isn't what it should be. But he still played a decent game.
So we're still having a little bit of back and forth in the chat. People are saying LCL tears, but there's a few people saying that he's got stuff coming out tomorrow after a surgery.
Ian Rappaport says sources. While Chief star wide receiver Rashee Rice's season is expected to be over, he did receive positive news today from Dr. Dan Cooper. Rice needs his LCL repaired, but there is a chance that's the only ligament to be repaired. He's expected to make a full recovery.
So I guess even LCL, if it even just stops at LCL and there's no ACL, he's probably still done for the year then, right?
Yeah, they're not expecting him to come back. Like, could he? Maybe. I'm not for sure what the time that you'd have to be out for like an LCL or something like that is. I know it's not as bad as an ACL. It's still a daggone ligament in your knee. So
yeah,
I mean,
still not good.
I just don't see them trying to rush him back. I don't see the point. I mean, you saw it tonight. Like, first of all, Rashee Rice was the number 2 receiver in the entire National Football League before he got hurt. So huge loss, right? But at the same time, we didn't have him tonight. And you had a guy like Juju step up with 120 yards receiving.
Dude, and look, if Mahomes don't miss Xavier Worthy 4 times wide open, Xavier Worthy has a big night. So I think it's still there. You're seeing a little bit more. I think, like we said, I think you're seeing the offense get like simplified just a little bit. They're relying on more of the run game, and it's kind of freeing up Mahomes to just kind of make the right decision and not trying to like spread the ball around, get it down the field, do this, do that. And even the one that he stepped up and threw deep to Xavier Worthy there at the end and got that pass interference call, Mahomes stepped up in the pocket and loaded that ball. Like, he did not worry about it.
Appreciate the 5, Mike, but I got to bring this up. Time Traveler says my brother called me gay for watching you guys.
Time Traveler.
Hey, tell your brother.
Tell your brother
he can suck it. Tell him he can suck it.
He can suck it.
That's hilarious, bro. But, dude, I'm ecstatic about how this team progressed from last week to this week. I will say, I mean, they had 300 yards of offense in the first half. Like, they were moving the ball. Like, in the first half, I honestly think the only drives that stalled out was when Jawan Taylor lost his mind.
Jawan Taylor stinks. I don't know what he did. Like, he's fine when he blocks, to a certain degree, but he'll have 1 or 2 a game where he just wants to hold, and it's always in the key critical moments. But then he's just this false starting thing. Like, either get it right, time it up with Creed, or don't be doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, just, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, no, but defensively, I'm with you. I think we got to get more pressure from the defensive ends. And will Charles Omenihu coming back make that big of a difference? I think it will.
I think it helps, 100%.
Right now, we're not getting much of nothing. So, I don't know. I think that's going to be a thing. The linebackers look pretty good tonight. I think Leo got a little duped in coverage one time against Moreau, but it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't like Leo was just bad. It was he sold the blocking.
No.
You know?
I thought our linebackers done okay in coverage tonight. I thought our safeties done pretty well in coverage. Again, it was just that Brian Cook and then Leo, they both kind of got spun, got lost a little bit, but everything else looked pretty good. I mean, if you run a defense as aggressive as Steve Spagnuolo, you're going to have players sometimes get caught in bad positions, and you're going to give up one or two big plays a game. Like, you're not going to be able to get rid of the big play. But that's the thing. You give up a big play here and there, but every other play be very, very solid, and the Chiefs done that tonight. This was a great performance by the Chiefs. Like, I give it an A across the board, considering we were just completely depleted. We really have nobody. I mean, think about it. What other team in football could be down to, let's just put, who do we got? Joe Burrow. Let's give Joe Burrow's sitting here with two of the best receivers in football, and everybody's bragging about him putting up numbers. Let's give Joe Burrow, Juju Smith-Schuster, Mecole Hardman, Noah Gray, Xavier Worthy, and see how many games he's going to win. It's not going to happen.
Right.
Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, Mahomes is doing great with very little. And the funny thing is, he's done this his entire career, so I think he's just used to it by now. Like, he's already decided he's not getting – either the Chiefs won't get it for him, or the times they do, God's like, nope, not going to happen here, Pat. You're going to do it the hard way. Injury.
Right. Mike, we got a doctor in the house here, okay?
Let's go.
Got a freaking doctor in the house from Germany. He says, do you think the wide receiver trade is still incoming? What do you think? Do you think that they're going to – you think they'll pull the trigger on that, or you think they're just going to?
Adam Schefter said today on ESPN, I was watching it live, I tweeted it. He said that Brett Veach was in no rush to make a trade. He wanted to go into the night as an audition and look at certain players and see if they were going to step up. I happen to believe that was Juju Smith-Schuster and that was Mecole Hardman. And both of them looked pretty decent. I mean, Juju looked really good. Mecole Hardman, pretty decent when he got his opportunities. And I think Xavier Worthy actually is going to get better and better and better as the season goes. They may not. It's going to have to be a great, great deal for the Chiefs, in my opinion. Like, it's going to have to be something big, and I just think the Chiefs are going to sit there and just roll with it.
Right.
Andy them just feel kind of hard-headed when it comes to that kind of stuff, don't they?
Yeah, I really do think they're probably just going to stand pat. I don't see them really going out and getting anybody. That's just.
Well, you kind of seen the direction I thought they might go, which was the multiple tight end packages, the 13 personnel, the 14 personnel, those big T-Rex packages. Jody Fortson actually contributed a few times. Noah Gray actually got in the passing game tonight, and he had a big play taken away from him. Didn't he have a touchdown taken away from him because of Jawan Taylor? So, yeah.
Not Jawan Taylor.
Yeah. He says, number 2, what happens to Cameron no showing?
I think he's talking about Cam Thomas never ever playing.
Okay, Cam Thomas.
That'd be my guess.
They're just not giving Cam Thomas any run. I don't know what it is. Apparently he stinks. I mean, what else is it?
Yeah, it's really weird that he's not been on the field.
Like, it can't be that hard to learn. You're defensive end. I played defensive end in high school.
Chase quarterback.
Like, come on, you don't do much. I know under Spags, like sometimes you'll stunt, you'll drop back and pass. Come on, it's not that hard. Put them in on just obvious pass rushing downs and let him pin his ears back. And they're not even doing that. So what's going on? I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither. Kyle says the new Big Red commercial had me rolling. I didn't see it.
I guess
I wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Shanna brings up something that a lot of other people have been bringing up in the chat over and over again tonight. She says, why is Sky Moore still on the team? Yeah, we saw Sky Moore out there for a kick return, bobbled the kick return.
Look,
I think he's officially cooked. I think
cooked.
that Dave Tobe and the fan base have cooked that kid into oblivion.
Yeah, I think it's very clear. Like last year, you seen it with Kadarius Toney. He got in his head, it was impossible. I think Sky Moore did it, and I think it's continued, and I think
Yeah.
that all the pressure is piled up on this kid, and he's done. He's done here. They may as well just cut him and let him go. Now, he may be able to revive his career somewhere else. I don't know. How mentally tough is he? But in Kansas City, he's done. He's done.
That's all there is to it. I think
The
his
fact that you
confidence got
literally
killed,
had to
that's
just
it.
catch a kick return, and he found a way to bobble it. Like, you cannot tell me, like, it's in your head at that point.
Like, I don't see them cutting him mid-season or anything crazy like that, guys.
I don't either, but it very well, this offseason might be his last.
Yeah, I mean, has to be, right? I mean, he's just not even doing
Well,
anything with his
what's the point
opportunities.
of putting him out there if he's not going to get offensive snaps and he's not going to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're like, well, we can't put him in the offense because he's going to drop. Well, then why is he on your team? Bring Nico up. Bring Justin Ross up. Bring somebody up. But why is he there? I think that's the frustration from the fans at this point. And I get it too. Look, I thought Sky deserved a little bit of grace. He's not earned it. Like, this was a year that Sky actually, everything kind of fell in his lap to be like, hey, go make a difference. See what you can do. Turn it around. I think he's cooked, man. I think it's just gotten his head to the point it's not getting out. Like,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't even need him, you know?
No, I'm not worried about it.
No, don't even care. I think
I do want to see Nico. I'd love to see Nico Remigio get a call up and see what he could do. I still think he's got something. He's got a little something there. He's got a little shimmy. He's got a little shake to him.
A lot of people still think Justin Ross has got something to offer. I mean, a lot of people still think Justin Ross has something.
I just think now with bringing up Jody Fortson, if this is the way you're going to go and you're going to go to those big 13, 14 personnels, then you don't need another Justin Ross. That's too many big guys on the field.
I want to see more passes to Wiley. I think they should they should try to.
Kind of odd that they didn't use Justin Watson tonight much.
No, whatever.
Yeah, but when your wide receivers are depleted, and it was very obvious that he was wide receiver 3 all offseason. And then and when wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 goes down, where's wide receiver 3? He wasn't there.
I don't know, man.
He wasn't there. Peace.
I appreciate Justin Watson for what he is and the fact that he has made some good plays. But like it's just Justin Watson, man. Like I've never been on that train. I don't think he's a needle mover whatsoever. And
well, he doesn't have to be, in your opinion. But Andy and them said he was wide receiver 3. So I'm just asking why he's not getting targets.
I don't know.
So if he's wide receiver 3 and
he
he's not
has
getting
something
targets,
on Andy. Okay?
And Sky Moore was wide receiver 5 or 4, and he's not getting targets. Why are these guys even on the roster at this point?
Jarrett said, "Where's Charles Omenihu on the IR?"
He's on the IR. I don't know what he's doing. I think here soon they should bring him up for a 21-day practice window.
Well,
I think in the next few weeks.
Before the season started, the projection was that he would be back around late November. And that was with him recovering quickly. But he's alluded to the fact that he's recovered.
You got to remember, he
faster.
took his injury in the playoffs, late in the playoffs. And if that's a 1-year injury, then you're looking late in the playoffs for a return. So I would say Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Once again, like, yes, we need that. We need pass rush. But it's not worth bringing him back too early. I think we can be a little patient there. But yeah, you were talking about Jody Fortson earlier, man. He looks bigger than I remember him looking. Like, I know he was tall, but I thought he was more scrawny than he is. He looked like a monster out there tonight.
Yeah. Jody Fortson's a huge dude. He is. Like, I don't know. To me, I thought that one play, it was the play, I want to say they went 13 personnel or 14 personnel, but they had trips left with all 3 tight ends. They had Kelsey, and I want to say it was either Noah Gray or Fortson, and then they had Jared Wiley. I think Jared Wiley probably could have got a nice pass over the middle there, and Mahomes opted to just go to Kelsey, his little safety blanket. So, but yeah, I think this is a time that you could see somebody like a Jared Wiley or a Jody Fortson that's always had potential but can't stay healthy. This is that time that some of these guys could maybe step up and make some big plays when it counts. And I don't think the Chiefs necessarily have to go out and get a big wide receiver. And let's be completely honest. If the Chiefs aren't going to go out and get somebody like Amari Cooper, I don't want it. It's Amari Cooper for me or it's bust. Because, honestly, I don't think Darius Slayton's nothing to write home about. Like, all these little middle-of-the-road guys that's not going to move the needle, who cares? I think Amari Cooper offers you something good. Okay? He does drop a lot, but he offers a lot of good stuff, too. He's one of the only ones I really want to look at. Nobody else, I care. Like, you're not going to get Devontae Adams. It's not happening. right?
Right.
So to me, it's Amari Cooper or nothing for me.
Right. Well, let's talk about some stat lines here. We'll see. Like Kareem Hunt, obviously 28 freaking carries, 102 yards. He averaged 3.6 yards per carry and a touchdown, which exceeds expectations for the night. Correct? Like we knew he was going to have a good game. You even called him scoring a touchdown, but that seems like even more than you were expecting. Correct?
Oh yeah, I think PFF had Kareem Hunt at like a 27% or 14%. It was something between 15 and 30% to hit 100 yards rushing. So it wasn't very high on the list. I don't think anybody thought they were going to just hammer, carries after carries. Like I think we both thought 15 would have been like the max. But Andy committed to the run game tonight. You can see when Andy will commit to that run game, this team does look different. And I think sometimes when Andy gets all these big receivers and he's got all these playmakers, they get a little too cute sometimes. And I feel like at even those times, if you'll commit to the run game, it's always going to keep the passing game. Passing game is going to keep the defense honest, and it's going to open up a lot of stuff there. And I think it would always make Mahomes' job a lot easier, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Carson Steele, though, back to the stat line. Here's what I wanted to bring up. Carson Steele, 5 carries for 12 yards. Did it not seem like he did more than that? Or am I crazy?
He had a couple kick returns, so that felt different.
I feel like there was a couple decent runs by him. I know he got his first down time or two.
Yeah, they used him on some short yardage plays. What was his long? Probably like 4.
I guess.
No, his long was 8. His long was 8.
That's crazy because he had 12 yards on 5 carries.
It's pretty wild.
I guess he probably did. They consider that like a loss where he lost the ball there.
Yeah, I think so.
Got busted.
That also counted as a carry.
Right. So maybe that's what
Yeah, because with the long of 8, that would have given him 4 carries for 4 yards, and he got well more than a yard per carry, in my opinion.
Right, and then we move over to the receiving end. Obviously, Travis Kelce had a pretty good game tonight. 9 receptions for 70 yards. Still couldn't get in the end zone, but it's still nice to see Mahomes just getting to Kelce. It helps the offense get in a groove. I'm telling you, like it's that simple. Use the little pitch and catch to Kelce to get this offense going. Juju Smith-Schuster, 7 receptions for 130 yards. No, 0 touchdowns. If he could have caught that touchdown there, he would have been it.
Juju having 7 receptions and 8 targets is wild in a way.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody expected him to come back and be targeted that much. I mean, I guess there's going to be a random game here and there, and I guess this is probably it, right? But Mecole Hardman had 4. He had 4 targets, had 4 catches, 33 yards. So I do think they were trying to move. I think they moved Mecole up the pecking order. They moved Juju up the pecking order a little bit. I think they dropped Justin Watson. Justin Watson didn't even have a target tonight. So he didn't have a complete target. Noah Gray ended up going 2 for 29, and he got the touchdown wiped away on the Jawan Taylor holding call. So I don't know, man. It was a good game front to back, in my opinion. I thought this was one of the best games the Chiefs have played. Well, this is the best game. Hands down, I think that was the best game across the board the Chiefs played.
For sure. They looked like the better team on the field all night, and it could have been much worse than it was, which is kind of the usual kind of run for the just par for the course for the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to talk about with the run game, what do you think about the utilization of Samaje Perine? Like, do you think they just don't really care to use them that much?
I just don't think. Look, Samaje Perine has not panned out to be what people thought he was going to be here. Like, he's not being used in the pass game a lot. I know Kelce made that nice little flip to him, that little lateral, but that's not really Samaje Perine. That's Kelce. So I don't know, man. Perine's not really lived up to what we thought he was going to.
No, and I noticed in the end zone that one time, it's like he's not expecting what Patrick Mahomes does. It could have easily been a touchdown catch for him.
Mahomes done a spin move too.
He wasn't even seeing it coming
a little bit. Yeah, I think he lost it.
Shout out Peace with the 2 bomb. He did this about 10 minutes ago and it didn't pop up. So appreciate you, my man. He says Spags third down calls and blitzes are lethal. Go ACU, dude. That's what you gotta love about Spags is like just when a team thinks they're comfortable. Or like they know what they're doing, Spags will just confuse the hell out of them. He'll bring heat. He'll do something crazy. And it just keeps everybody on their toes, man. You gotta love it. Like I love what Spags does with the defense, man.
Yeah, I think Spags done a good job tonight. Spags always does a good job. Spags gets overlooked big time. You think? Well, Spags said he's going to be around here to at least Andy. retires, which Andy kind of the other day left it a little open-ended, but you think Spags will ever get a head coaching opportunity again?
I don't know.
They were talking about
I don't
it.
see why he wouldn't, to be honest, after the job he's done.
It seems like players love him.
Right, and he's mentioned that he would like to have that opportunity before. I think he talked about that on the franchise last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He would like to be a head coach again, so I think if he ever gets the opportunity, he might take it. But let's enjoy him while we have him, because our defense has just been night and day different from what we were used to back with Greg Robinson and the like. So I think it's a totally different world nowadays.
Yeah.
Javier Sanchez with the
Javier
5.
Sanchez, Spags is wild, love it. Yeah, look, like that last was a fourth down when Derek Carr threw that one deep, and of course it wasn't connected there on fourth. Dude, I was like so thinking they were going to leak somebody out of the backfield or something. That's where the Chiefs always tend to get gashed, is like running backs out of the backfield, get behind the linebackers. And you knew Spags was bringing the house, and sure enough he did, and Derek Carr's running completely backwards and just launches one up. Horrible play call there by them. So, yeah, sometimes it's nice to have coaches helping you by doing stupid stuff like that. And I think that's what happened tonight. I think the Saints were a little frustrated. I think they were frustrated on offense. I know Kamara had to be. Kamara didn't do nothing. Like, he flat out stunk tonight. You got to see Jake Haener come in for a little while there at the end, though. How
Creeping
about that?
me out. Looking
Crazy
like
eyes Jake Haener.
looking like a freaking cannibal on screen.
He's
like
wild,
he
dude.
weirds me out. He's a weird looking little dude.
You know what? Did they miss the running back that caught the ball in the end zone? He tried to come out and he almost took a knee and then he got up and ran. Did his
Jamal
knee
Williams.
actually touch
No.
grass?
They showed it up close. I don't think it did.
Did it hover? You mean it didn't even touch like a little?
I mean, it might have. I don't know, but it didn't look like it.
like if this is a piece of grass blowing in the wind and his knee just barely clips it. Like should have been.
Appreciate
at
the
the
5,
1
hobby.
baby.
What she says, do you realize that this is Spag's 27th season? And is that true?
Well, I mean, he's old.
Jeez,
I
we're
mean,
old.
Spags ain't no spring chicken, ladies and gents.
27 seasons. That's nuts to think about, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, dude, Spags, he's awesome. I don't know what to say about it. He's 64.
He don't look that old, does he?
So, I mean, look, he was born in 59. Wasn't Pops born in 59?
Yeah.
58?
I think they graduated high school together.
He's the same age as Pops. Him and Pops probably went to high school together up
They
there
did.
in New Jersey or wherever he's from.
Yeah. Cincinnati Bengals.
Northbridge.
Sacramento Kings fan here says, I'm still concerned about the offensive line for the Chiefs. Juwan Taylor's still getting way too many penalties. Definitely there are some question marks to the offensive line. I didn't think Wanye looked very good. Kingsley wasn't in there long enough to even judge him at this point. But, like, if they're not putting him in there over Wanye, then
Dude,
obviously they
Wanye's
know more than
knee,
us.
like, I felt like that could have been bad. And I was like, dude, can we
Yeah.
catch a break? But he
But,
got back
like,
out there.
Juwan Taylor does have to clean it up a little bit. He does. End of story. Like, I get what's going on there, and I get that it's just going to happen with the style that he plays. But, I mean, you cannot have drive killers like we had with him. You just can't do it. Like, that can be detrimental in a game at the wrong time. And he's got to clean it up, dude. So I think there are some question marks to tackles, but nothing crazy. Like, I'm not, like, worried about it. I guess I'm not even really concerned at the moment. Could it be a problem going forward? I suppose so, but right now I think we're good.
When you look at, I mean, I don't want to even bring up anything negative, to be honest. It's such a good night. It's such a great night. I don't want to talk about
Nothing
it.
to be negative about, baby.
But I was going to say that up to this point, if you can name 4 or 5 players that have been very just underwhelming this year, I think Juwan Taylor goes on that list. Obviously, Sky Moore goes on that list. Like, that's 100% Sky Moore goes on the list. But I do think Juwan Taylor probably has to make that list because he can't stop committing penalties, okay? If you put somebody else on that list, I would honestly say Mahomes could be on that list too. Mahomes has not played up to par either. Now, he did get a little better tonight, but if you ask him, he's probably going to be like, I played like crap for 4 or 5 weeks. So, yeah, I think, like, there's a little bit, and, this is all easily fixable because at week 6 at the bye, if you say, look, Mahomes is going to be one of your most struggling players, believe it or not. And Juwan Taylor, he's still going to have a few penalties. I mean, you're probably going to believe that one. But, you know what I'm saying? But if somebody's like Sky Moore struggled, okay, he's one of your 5 most struggling. George is struggling a little bit. Like, you're taking this. You're taking this all day because you're like, well, we
Right.
knew that was going to happen. I think Mahomes might be the only one that struggled so far a little bit, but we all know Mahomes is getting out of that. He's getting out of it, and I think it starts with comfort.
Yeah, I mean, I think tonight was a step in the right direction.
100%.
And then, like, even just taking shots downfield. And what's funny about it is we always talk about how he's got to take shots downfield to Xavier Worthy. I mean, Xavier Worthy's beating these men like crazy. He hasn't seen him a lot. But, like, you just got to take those shots. And he was finally doing it tonight. And what's funny is that he didn't connect on either of them. But really, both of them were big gains. Like, the first one didn't get called, but the second one did. But both of those turned into a long PI. But that's what happens when you put the ball out there to a guy that's cooking DBs. Like, whether he catches it or not, sometimes it forces that pass interference, and that can be a game changer as well when you get 50, 60 yards in one chunk. So I just think those are the shots that he has to continue to take. He looked more comfortable out there doing it tonight, so I'm happy for that. Mike, I had a poll up before we got on here. It said, how we feel in Chiefs Kingdom. 48% of Chiefs Kingdom is all the way horned. Just want you to know that. But you know what, guys? I'm not feeling the all the way hornedness.
I was going to say, I'm not feeling 48% of people
I'm not
feeling
feeling like everybody's
horned.
all the way horned. We only got 113 likes in here.
I feel like there's been a lot of excitement tonight for the best game we've played all year.
I don't, guys. We got to get a little more horned.
I feel like everybody's tired. You guys are going to sleep. It's only 11 o'clock over there in KC, and you guys are already asleep.
Yeah, let's wake up a little bit. Hit that like button. Let's get to 200. We'll give away a signed poster. If we don't, we don't. But if we do, we will. And yeah, make sure to put some questions in the chat and stuff like that. Appreciate you guys being here. But just take a second to hit that like button. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, where you been at, hit that subscribe button, hang out. That's where you're going to find the best Chiefs content on freaking YouTube. So go ahead and do that. And don't be afraid to get in the chat, man. Good people in the chat. Always a good time. Yeah, we got to get a little more. We got to get a little more horned for the fact that the Chiefs are 5-0 going into the bye week. When everyone talked about all offseason, like, oh, they're going to take a couple L's there. They're going to.
They're not.
Right? No, we're in the driver's seat.
Who was the cat that come in here and said his brother said, "Why are you watching them?"
I don't know.
Well, don't be slapping it like that dude's brother. Okay, get in here and hit that sub button.
He said he made it up. I don't even think he has a brother.
Probably. Hey, man, I tell you, excited about the game though. Steve, let's give away some game balls, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. But first, game balls. Before that,
what are you doing?
How about them Royals, though?
Them Royals
evened up the series tonight. Not only did the Chiefs go 5-0 tonight going into the bye week, the Royals evened up the series.
I said the Royals are
Yankees.
fine last night.
Yeah, Bobby's having a rough time in the playoffs so far. He's like 0 for 9.
But look,
with a lot of
Salvi
strikeouts.
Done well tonight, so we'll go with that.
I still have faith in them. The boys are going to play some ball, and they're going to win this thing, okay?
Okay, so here we go. Let's hand away some game balls. I think I was right. I think Kareem Hunt was your offensive player of the game. I think I was right last night, and I think I'm going to go ahead and give it to myself. Pat on the back. Kareem Hunt game ball.
Well, I'm gonna go a little bit different than you. I think I'm gonna give the game ball to Juju. I know he dropped that one in the end zone, and that could have been a game changer. But the fact that he stepped up tonight and actually showed up and was able to put 130 receiving yards on the field and move the ball. Hey, welcome back, my man. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm looking at you like that because, let me tell you something. Kareem Hunt was a difference maker. Now, look, I will say, Juju was a difference maker too.
130 yards receiving is a difference maker.
But he got 60 of that on one blown play of the Saints
50.
just falling asleep. They were out there in lawn chairs eating hot dogs.
Quit trying to take it away from him. Quit trying to take it away from him.
Okay, who's your
if he wouldn't have done his best Kadarius Toney impression on the goal line.
Look, that's a good sign by Juju right there. That's the difference between Juju and a lot of other people. Like I said, your Kadarius Toneys of the world or Sky Moores that let it get in their head. You've seen Juju pop right back and go back, and he actually made play after play after play afterwards. And that's your differences. That's why you get successful guys in the NFL, and that's why you get guys that just can't get it together. It's all a mental game. Yeah, and Juju proved it. You got
to forget that stuff quick. You just got to get over it.
Yeah. So, okay, so defense. You want to go first on defense?
Oh, no, not really. Who is defense?
Whoa, you're just not even going to... You're not even giving nobody on defense.
I tell you, like they played well. They played really well. But there was no one that really stuck out. I'm going to give it to Trent McDuffie. I think that he had a good game. He did what he had to do. I'll give it to him.
Yeah, Trent McDuffie's a good one. I'm honestly going to give it to Nick Bolton. I think Nick Bolton had a great night. He was blowing up the run there a few times. He had 2 tackles for loss. He had 11 total tackles, and he hit the QB twice. So, I mean, Nick Bolton was all over the field. And this
Nick
is
Bolton
coming
did
from
look
me, who was a little bit irritated at Nick Bolton after week 1. And I thought in week 2, he got a little better, but he just wasn't there. Then in week 3, he played better. Week 4, he played better. And now in week 5, he's played even better, in my opinion. So, Nick Bolton turned the corner. He's back up to superstar status. Hit stick Nick. He also blew it up right there. I want to say, what was it, 3rd down? He blew up a big play there.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I think Nick Bolton gets it, in my
I'm
opinion.
good with that.
Let's give
I'm
it
good
to
with that. I
Nick
think
Bolton, baby.
it could have went a few different ways there. But just overall, man, I think the defense as a whole, I mean, they're getting the job done week in and week out right now. And it's still early, and we all know with these Spags defenses, they get better as the year goes on. So I'm extremely excited to see what kind of product they're going to have on the field by the end of the season. What do you think about going forward, man? Like, what's the things that you think the Chiefs need to be focused on this bye week? Obviously, recovery.
Yeah, bye week. Let's just get healthy.
Great. But, I mean, is there anything else that you think that they really need to focus in on? Like, for me, I think it's definitely the red zone offense. Like, we got to find ways to turn 3 points into 7. End of story. If they could just do that even 50% more of the time than they are now, they'd be blowing teams out every week.
For me, on the bye week, I think you have to take this time, and we've got to figure out what is not clicking or why we're not using him the way we thought he should be, because we know he can flat out play. Shamaze Perine, we've got to see why he's not integrating into this offense very well. Like, is there a miscommunication? Is he not understanding a lot of the playbook? Like, what is it? Now, it may just could be they're just not really calling his number a lot. But let's find a way to get Samaje Perine involved. That way we can have a 3-headed monster going in for the rest of the season. And that's a big one. Besides that, I think find a way to keep getting these tight ends open and creative, in my opinion. I don't even think they probably have to go out and get a wide receiver.
Right. TGZ with the 2 bomb says can't hit like button because go away, baiting. Hey, you can still... Look, you can still take a brief pause from baiting and hit the like button. It's not that hard.
Go away, baiting. Damn it.
See, I actually think I saw him hit the like button right in the middle of it.
Could be. Nikki says, where's Jaden Hicks?
Man, that's a good question.
But look, we had this conversation the other day, and I'm just saying this. It's hard for Jaden Hicks to get on the field. Who's he gonna take snaps in front of? You're not getting snaps over Justin Reed.
Everybody's playing pretty good.
Brian Cook's playing pretty well this year, coming back off that injury. Chamari Connor is a flat out beast. Like, he don't really have a lot of places to get in because, believe it or not, they're just not rotating like hockey lineups. Like, they're letting these guys play. Like, Justin Reed and all them are going to play the majority, like 99.9% of the snaps, barring an injury or something. So it's hard to get them on the field. It's one of those things with backups. Even with, like, Wiley, there's only so many packages and so many plays that Wiley's even going to get a chance to get in the game. I bet you when it's all said and done, you're going to look, and Wiley's going to have 4 snaps in the entire game. People's gonna be like, Wally's a bust. And it's like, well, he got 4 snaps. Like, what do you expect? You're not getting snaps over Noah Gray and Travis Kelce right now. You're just not doing it.
No.
So I think a lot of people hold these guys a little bit too much.
Right, but now I'm with Nikki though. I feel like he should get a little bit more opportunities.
I think he will later in the year, but I think it's for right now, the way everything's going, I think Spags sees a very cohesive unit. Don't screw it up.
Right.
And we've played a lot of close games, too, where it's like, well, how's he got a chance to get in?
Yeah. Justin Garcia says we finally getting these 3rd and 4th and shorts. Love it. That's something I've seen drastically improve this season.
Can absolutely do that, but I think that's a big one from Crocky J, in my opinion. That's what he does offer you.
Yeah, for sure. Did you get a little worried? It wasn't a 3rd and short or 4th and short or anything, but when they got in the red zone that one time, they're inside the 10, and you saw Kelce get back there. Where you're like, damn it, Andy Reid, like, are we really going this route? Can we not?
And then he run that same play where he
handed. That's what got worthy his touchdown.
He pitched it underneath, and Colin Saunders blew it up right before he got the pick. That little underneath pitch to Kelce. So Andy still runs his same old same, and sometimes it just gets a little predictable, man. And who blew it up? Colin Saunders. He's seen that play probably 4,000 times.
Colin Saunders.
Steve, you love Colin Saunders, bro.
Not a fan. Cali Cash with the 5 bomb says, I told you fellas, Sky is roadkill. Yeah, you did. So yeah, congrats. He does. Like, that's the thing about it. Like, with Sky, it's like I'll continue to say it's in there somewhere. It's just not happening. I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. It's not going to happen with the Chiefs.
It's 100% in his head at this point.
Well, I think it's a couple of things. And no offense, Callie. I appreciate the 5, appreciate the support. But I think it's a little bit of, first of all, Dave Tobe putting him out there returning punts when he did not do that. And he fumbled it, and they kept sticking back there to do it. It killed his confidence. And then we had a rush of Chiefs Kingdom that was just running the kid into the ground. Like, he's trash. Get him out of here. He's awful.
And that also attributed to people saying he can't catch the football.
Right, and I think all that something's in this kid's head. But I'm with you. Like,
but now, look, isn't it the same thing?
It's done.
Though?
It's over.
Like they've done tons of psychological studies, and if you tell somebody what they are, whether they are or not, they'll believe you. They'll start believing it themselves. And when people keep telling you can't catch a football, you drop, it's going to get in your head and you're going to drop. I 100% believe that's what happened with Kadarius Toney.
He's got to learn how to quit looking at social media.
I think you got to get away from it. But look, I think here he's cooked, and I don't even know why he's on the roster at this point.
Yeah.
Just bring up Nico Remigio, get rid of Sky Moore at the trade deadline. I don't care if you get a freaking box of crackers out of it. Do something, because the fans don't want him here, and it's not fair to him, right? Is it fair? If the fans don't want you here and the fans are making fun of you and they hate you, they didn't even wish him happy birthday. They couldn't even wish him happy birthday. They told him he was going to drop his cake, okay? So just get him out. Let him go somewhere and start life new. Maybe he can join the witness protection program. Change his name to Hector Moore and go play for another team. I don't know. Go play for the Raiders, bro.
Poor guy. He's got to go do something different.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it.
Yeah, Chiefs Kingdom is they're not gonna let it happen.
No. We got 162 likes. Hit the like button, get it to 200. We'll give away a signed poster before we leave.
We're leaving in 7 minutes, so
get on
it. Hit it quick.
Get on it. If you have any questions that you want to get in, go ahead and get those in. You guys that have donated tonight, we appreciate your support. You help keep the channel rolling. We appreciate you tremendously for that. But yeah, man, overall, like I said, you got to be happy. The Chiefs are 5-0 going into the bye week. So yeah, it's great. I think I saw somebody put this in chat earlier. It's pretty awesome to be able to complain about things when you're 5-0. Like, and I think what they meant by that is, we're not even playing our best football. We've had a boatload of problems, and we are 5-0 going into the bye week. And we're not just 5-0. We've beat good teams. The Ravens, the Bengals, the Saints.
Good teams that are underperforming, though. Let's be completely honest. The Ravens have kind of put it together, but the Bengals are 1-4. They stink. They're a good team, but
the Saints have been good all year. So I mean,
the Saints were a good team. I think this was a nice win tonight. This is our best win of the year, in my opinion.
Jay with a 5 says, can the Chiefs please get rid of FAU? Is Karlaftis slower? If Karlaftis and FAU get any slower, I say put in Cam Thomas.
Apparently, Cam Thomas is the slowest of all of them, because they won't even let that dude hit the field.
There got to be a reason.
I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that you go out and you make a little trade. Okay, you go out and you trade for Peyton Hendershot. He's nowhere to be found. He's on the practice squad. You go out and trade for Cam Thomas. He's not getting any chance to play. It's wild, dude. Like, I don't know who's negotiating some of this stuff. Like, those would have been nice, late picks, which I don't think we have to give up the Hendershot pick anymore. But the Cam Thomas one, I think, still going to be gone probably.
Well, to kind of answer these questions in a nutshell, I think FAU, you got to give him a little bit more time. He's a year and 4 games into his career.
Chiefs Kingdom is not giving anybody time.
I understand that we're a very impatient fan base.
They're already calling, Steve, Kingsley. I've seen Kingsley Sumatai as a complete bust like 100 times tonight.
Which is wild. What did he play? 2 plays?
These guys are, dude, Chiefs Kingdom is brutal. Like, if you don't get drafted and go straight to the Pro Bowl, you are done here.
No, but FAU, I think you got to give him a little bit more time. We'll see. But has he underperformed to this point? Absolutely. Like, he's got a lot of work to do. Karlaftis, I don't know if he's slower this year, but he's definitely slumping some.
Like, do you feel like maybe they're playing a little bit different towards Karlaftis because he did kind of come on last year? Do you think maybe they're like shifting more doubles his way? Do you think they're keeping an eye on him a little bit better?
Well, I don't know. I will say this about Karlaftis. I love Karlaftis. Love Karlaftis, by the way, but he's a one-trick pony. He's a bull rusher. So, I mean,
he's an effort guy.
Exactly. So, I think if they put a little bit of focus on that.
I'm one of the only people that was saying we need to enhance the pass rush, and everybody said I was dumb all offseason.
No one called you dumb.
Yeah, you did. Everybody did. They said we don't need it. We were second.
None of us called you dumb.
Listen, you needed it. You needed it. We should have drafted one. We should have went and signed one in free agency, and it shouldn't have been Mike Dana. I like Mike Dana, but they should have went and got something a little bit higher. And I've always said this: George Karlaftis is good. I love George Karlaftis, but he is not a top tier pass rusher in this league. We've got to go get a top tier pass rusher at some point, because poor Chris Jones, dude, he does everything by himself, and he's constantly getting held, double, triple teamed, and they are literally ripping his jersey off every play, and he's still the one disrupting plays. So it's like he can give you that much effort and be destroyed the whole game. Let's have somebody help him a little bit.
Right. That's the thing about Karlaftis too, is I don't think he's playing bad. It's just he's not jumping out at you. You know, he's not doing what he was last year. Wasn't getting as many pressures as he was last year. And do I think that'll change? Yeah, I kind of do. I think it'll come around. It's going to come to, like you mentioned, he's an effort guy. It will come. If he keeps putting in the work,
I don't know if he's going to get to the double-digit sacks we were calling at the beginning of the year, though.
No, but I mean, if he can get even,
we actually said he could sniff 15 this year. And I don't know if that's coming.
I don't know about all that.
Yep.
Appreciate the 5J.
Didn't happen there.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't know what we were thinking. Joe with the 5 bomb says, Chiefs win on Monday Night Football and Royals win a playoff game. Good night for Kansas City. Absolutely, my man.
Great night.
I was watching the Royals game on my phone and the Chiefs game on my TV. I just had them sitting there. So,
well, I seen the Royals went down 1-0, and then
Salvi smacked
a homer, and then I kind of got just very enthralled in the Chiefs game, and I didn't even look at it till it was over.
I will say, you know, I only catch myself looking at the Royals game on, you know, timeouts, commercial breaks, and things. But still super exciting for the city that both teams are doing well right now. Everybody's got to be excited for the Royals being in the playoffs because 100 losses last year, and then bounced back. And then, of course, the Chiefs going into the bye week at 5-0 in the driver's seat in the AFC. You just got to be happy.
Yeah. Lake Show says, not going to three-peat. Mahomes is overrated. His stats this year are trash. Well, here's what I'll say. We're 5-0. We're completely depleted. And
he can have Burrow's stats and be 1-4.
Well, I'm just saying, you don't win Super Bowls based on stats. You could have Joe Burrow's stats, which are ungodly great, and be 1-4. So everybody's got to step up. This can't just be Mahomes throwing for 700 yards a game. So I think it's been awesome, man. And did we get to the poster?
No, we didn't.
Well, we're not giving it away then. You know what? We ruined our night.
We failed.
We failed. We're going to the bye week as failures, everyone. No, but to be honest, it's been a good night. It's been a fun night.
Hell yeah.
Very pleased with the way the Chiefs looked. But yeah, man. Steve, I guess that's going to wrap it up for the night, dude. Like, I think we've ran this game into the ground. I don't think there's any more to talk about. Let's just go into these next 2 weeks and have a little fun. Hope the Chiefs can get healthy. Maybe a little thread of a wide receiver option coming in.
We'll see, man. There's 2 weeks for us to make a move if they're going to or whatever they're planning on doing. But yeah, keep an eye out for content over the next 2 weeks. We're still going to be putting out content, even though the bye week's going on. So make sure that you're keeping an eye out for that. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, all that good stuff. And then after the bye week, of course, the Chiefs come back on the 20th of October at San Francisco. So they come back playing a good team. That they've not been living up to their standard this season, but like you said, people always come out swinging against the Chiefs. And then after the 49ers, it'll go into the Raiders, the Buccaneers, the Broncos, the Bills, the Panthers, the Raiders,
some tough
the Chargers.
Games, man. It's not a cakewalk by any means.
No. But I think what we've done so far by knocking out the Ravens, the Bengals, the Falcons, the Chargers, and the Saints, it's a hell of a start. We're already 1-0 in the West, and that's the main thing. You got to win the West first before you can do anything else, right? So that's the main focus. And after we get past the 49ers, we get right back into it against the Raiders. So, yeah, man. I mean, things are in our hands. I think the Chiefs come out. They have the intensity. They keep improving each week. Patrick Mahomes comes out of his shell a little bit. I think we're in a very good position for how the season has started out. I mean, we're a quarter of the way through the season, guys. It's crazy to think. Feel like it just started, but we're a quarter way through the season. So if they can just keep it rolling, keep improving, like things are looking good for how this is going to play out for the Chiefs come playoff picture.
Yeah, I'm excited. I do think after tonight, though, I wouldn't expect much on the trade front. Maybe the Chiefs seen all they needed to see tonight.
Don't get too horned up about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't get that horned. Especially, Steve, I'm telling you, man, if it's not Amari Cooper, I don't want it.
Hey, move the needle or leave it alone.
It's like if we're going to go to McDonald's, let me order a combo meal. I don't want to order off the dollar menu, okay, Mom? Brett Veach is like, we got Amari Cooper at home, and he shows you a picture of Sky Moore.
Oh,
Let's
well.
go.
Well, y'all have a good night. Go Chiefs. 5-0, baby.
Go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.